The big question I want to know is, how does this compare to the 4570 and which one is more painful to shoot? So let's find out. I'm not going to try to hit any targets or nothing like that. I'm just going to squeeze the trigger and pray for the best. Here we go. Ow! What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you for watching. Today we have a video that will definitely be a lot of fun for you guys to watch and probably way less fun for me to make. So a while back we did a video on this, the Cyclops Derringer 4570, one of the dumbest, most painful inventions we've ever had on this channel. And after we filmed with the 4570, I told myself and all of you guys that I would never shoot this thing again. And I stuck to that up until recently, when I was made aware that Bond Arms has actually released another big bore Cyclops Derringer. And believe it or not, this one is chambered in an even bigger caliber than the 4570. This is the Bond Arms Cyclops Thumper 50AE. Why do I do this to myself? Now, I believe I titled the 4570 Cyclops video "The World's Most Powerful Pocket Pistol" or something like that, and I'm sure this one will probably have a similar title as well. Truthfully, I don't know which one is most powerful yet. Hopefully that's something we answer today, but I'll go ahead and show you both of these rounds. So this is a 4570, and this is the 50AE. Of course, the 50AE does have a bigger diameter bullet because it is a 50 cal, but the 4570 is a heavier bullet, longer rifle round with a lot more velocity behind it. So I think it's safe to assume that overall the 4570 is the more powerful of the two. However, one big advantage I can think of with the 50AE is powder burn. Again, the 4570 is a rifle cartridge that's meant to be fired from a much longer barrel. The 50AE, on the other hand, was actually made to be fired from a handgun. As most of you probably know, the iconic Desert Eagle is chambered in 50AE, which I also brought out, by the way, for comparison. So I imagine, being that it was made for shorter barrels, it uses a different powder, the 50AE might give us a much better powder burn and actually push it over the 4570. Now, I'm probably not gonna shoot the 4570 today because I wanna save my wrist for the new one, and I'm not kidding you, they are actually that bad. Like, you only get a handful of shots with these, and then you gotta take a break. But I have a ton of footage with it. I'll play some of that, and we're gonna shoot a lot of the same stuff. So I should be able to compare these pretty effectively. But like I said, after that last video, I told myself I was done shooting these stupid things, and then I saw the 50 cal Thumper, and I thought, dang it, I gotta give it a shot. So please say a prayer for my wrist. Let's go try this thing. All right, guys, this is the moment we've all been waiting for. First shots with the Cyclops Thumper 50AE. I'm getting a little anxious, I'm not gonna lie. Hopefully you can tell just by looking at it, this thing is brand new and has never been fired. So we're gonna try it out right here together. And just for a size reference, this is the Desert Eagle, the most iconic handgun chambered in the 50AE. And this is the Thumper. Quite a big size difference. By the way, these are an absolute handful, so I can't even imagine what this little thing is gonna feel like. Now, it's absolutely freezing out here, so I do have little gloves on, but trust me, they're not gonna dampen the recoil at all. They're just mechanics gloves. But the way this thing works is identical to the 4570. It's got a little safety right there in front of the trigger. Red is dead, and then to open the barrel, you push down on this little lever, and that allows the barrel to flip up. We've got a 300 grain 50AE hollow point, which sounds insane, going in this tiny little gun. The big question I wanna know is, how does this compare to the 4570 and which one is more painful to shoot? So let's find out. I'm not gonna try to hit any targets or nothing like that. I'm just gonna squeeze the trigger and pray for the best. Here we go. Wow. Well, the fact that it's freezing cold out here probably didn't help anything, but that did not feel good. I'll just put it like that. Definitely can feel that recoil go all the way through your hand, and that is our 50AE shell casing. I saw a fireball. I don't know if you guys could see it on camera, but That's something we did not get with the 4570, if I remember, so. All right, now we have a 300 grain Hornady XTP. I believe this has even more recoil than the first one that we shot, so. I'm gonna try to not squeeze the grip so hard this time. One thing I hate about these Cyclops Derringers is the triggers are extremely heavy. I wish they were just a little bit lighter so it was easier to shoot, but let's see if we can hit that steel target. I doubt it, but. Ow! I don't think I'll be shooting those anymore. Holy sh**. I did not think it would be that much more powerful than the first one that we shot. That one hurt really bad. There's our shell casing from the Hornady XTP. That is insane. I don't know anyone that would enjoy shooting this thing. All right, now I went ahead and got the Desert Eagle out, same caliber, of course, and I want to go ahead and shoot this to show you guys what the difference is. I never thought I would say this, but this will be a nice break from the recoil of the Thumper. These are notorious flamethrowers, so maybe we'll get a good fireball. Oh yeah, definitely got a good muzzle flash, but you can see how smooth and gentle this thing looks compared to the Cyclops Thumper. The extra weight goes a long way. Malfunction. Maybe the magazine wasn't seated all the way. Okay. Well, the Desert Eagle's having reliability issues, which I guess I'm not too surprised. They're not great guns, to be honest with you, but either way, you get the point. Definitely not a soft shooting gun, not a gun I would recommend for beginners or nothing like that, but it's not like a 500 Magnum. The Desert Eagle 50 is surprisingly gentle for a caliber this big because it is so heavy and it's got that gas operated action. So it absorbs recoil surprisingly well, whereas the Cyclops Thumper, it does not. You're taking every bit of that round right into the palm of your hand. Now, before we go any further, I just want to defend myself a little bit and let y'all know that I am not some wimpy dude who never shoots big guns. I've shot 500 Magnums, all the biggest rounds, 700 grain T-Rex and stuff like that. I got videos shooting those dozens of times, but these little Cyclops are just different. They're actually almost painful to shoot. And I honestly think the grip makes it even worse because that hump just goes right into the middle of your palm. So you take all that recoil right into your hand. Maybe they tried other grip angles and they didn't work. I don't know, but these are actually not fun to shoot. That's the difference between something like this and a 500 Magnum. Now, as far as the recoil goes between this and the 4570, I would say they are similar. I actually think the 50 probably recoils more, but it's not more painful, if that makes sense. It just feels way more powerful. The 4570 kind of just stabs you in the hand, whereas this is like a miniature hand cannon with a lot more muzzle rise, and it's just more of a thump. No pun intended. That's probably why it's called the Thumper. So I don't know if you could say one is worse than the other. They both absolutely suck, but going off those last two shots, I do think you're getting more bang for your buck with the 50AE, whereas the 4570 just falls off a cliff out of that tiny little barrel. So I've also got to stop making these videos when it's 10 degrees outside because that is not helping my hands. All right, we're gonna go ahead and try to answer the big question I'm sure everyone has, and that is, what kind of velocity are we actually getting out of this little thing? So I've got the chronograph on the table, and just for a reference, I believe the Desert Eagle has a 7.5 inch barrel. So 3.5 inches longer than the Cyclops Thumper. Actually, I didn't plan on this, but I might just go ahead and shoot one out of the Desert Eagle to get a baseline before we actually try the Thumper. So this is the 300 grain Arms Core hollow point. Same round we're gonna test out of the other one. Let's see what it does from the Desert Eagle. 1029. And the Cyclops Thumper, we got the exact same round. And yes, I did only shoot one because I'm not shooting this thing 3 times just to get an accurate velocity. So 1 round is gonna have to do. Go ahead and cock the hammer. It is getting so cold out here. I'm trying to keep the thinnest gloves on that I can and still shoot this thing. For those of you that don't know, the triggers in these Bond Arms Derringers are absolutely terrible. You really can't even shoot them with big gloves. So 1029 was what the Desert Eagle gave us. Well, that's interesting. That one gave us 1064. So like 40 feet per second more than we got from the Desert Eagle. Now, one thing I will say is this Arms Corps ammo can be incredibly inconsistent, which is why it's always best to shoot a few rounds when you're chronographing something. But again, I'm not doing that with the Cyclops Thumper. So I will go ahead and shoot 1 more out of the Desert Eagle and see what this one gives us. 1029 was the last one. Let's see what we get here. Well, one thing we definitely got is a much bigger fireball, and that one gave us 1178. So it was quite a bit faster than the first one, but still, that's only like 100 feet per second faster than we got from the Cyclops Thumper. Not bad for a tiny little 4-inch barrel. And before it shuts off on us, I'll go ahead and give you a close-up look. You can see 1,178 feet per second. And the first thing I'll say is that explains why the Hornady XTP has a lot more recoil, because I think it's getting closer to like 1,500 or 1,600 feet per second. But still, after seeing that, I am very impressed with the Cyclops Thumper. And I know I chronographed the 4570, I just don't remember if I filmed it, but I kid you not, it was only going like 400 feet per second or something like that. I thought the 50AE was going quite a bit faster when I saw it hit that steel plate, because that bullet was absolutely moving. So I guess that answers our question. 50AE, without a doubt, by a very large margin, is more powerful than the 4570. Well, I don't know how many shots I got left in me with this evil little creation, so I got a couple targets left, and of course, one of them has to be a watermelon. We got our 50AE hollow point, and I think with this one, I might try a thumbs forward grip like you would use on a semi-auto pistol. See if that feels any different. Hopefully I can hit it from 5 yards away. Well, I hit it. That definitely was not any better on the palm of my hand. Man, you never get used to something like this. I don't know where I even hit the watermelon. It looks like it was probably on the top third. I thought maybe aiming high would help the bullet go low because I am so close, but looks like it probably went exactly where I was aiming. Let's go check it out. Well, it's starting to rain pretty good, so I'll try to show you this quickly. I believe that is our entrance hole right there. So I definitely hit it a little high. Like I said, I was aiming at the top half because I thought at that range it would probably hit a couple inches low, but it looks like it didn't. Either way, it still did quite a bit of damage to that watermelon. It completely took off the top half and exploded that thing quite a bit. If I hit it dead center, it probably would have just disintegrated it like it does out of a Desert Eagle, but I suck. All right, guys, I am very pleased to announce that we have finally arrived at the last test of the day because my hand really needs a break after this one. So our final target for today's video is gonna be a Ballistic dummy lab head. Now, I'm sure you're all familiar with these. We've got a million videos with them, but I'll go ahead and give you a close-up look at it. I do have it screwed into a 2x4, which is also screwed into the table, so it doesn't go flying when we shoot this thing. Now, we've tested the velocity, we've shot steel, we've shot watermelons, but I think this will be the one target that will actually show us how effective the Cyclops Thumper really is, so let's do it. Okay, obviously the Cyclops Thumper is a very close-range weapon, so we are at very close range, probably 5 feet away, maybe even less, and once again, we are gonna shoot the 300 grain hollow point that we've been shooting all day. I'm so glad that this is my final shot with this thing. And I am gonna shoot this one left-handed again because my right hand is pretty much shot, so. Let's do it. Oh my God. Well, I just got covered in blue zombie blood. It's all over my coat, all over my pants. We even got some on the gun. So I think that was pretty effective. Let's go check it out. Now, one thing I gotta say is the muzzle flash with the 50AE is 10 times cooler than it was with the 4570. Every time I take a shot, there's just a massive fireball coming out the end of that thing. And our ballistic dummy head was no different. So here is what we've got. You can see the entrance hole right there in the middle of his forehead, about where I was aiming. There's a little bit of unburnt gunpowder, but really not much, honestly. And that's another important difference between the two. I did the same test with the 4570 at about the same distance, and our ballistic dummy was just covered in unburnt gunpowder. But again, that is our entrance hole on the ballistic dummy, and there's a lot of damage going on here. The top is completely shattered. Both sides are completely shattered. The front is just demolished. That 50AE just absolutely annihilated our ballistic dummy lap head. And then if we go around to the back, you can see we do have an exit hole right there. And I think I heard the bullet hit steel after it passed through our ballistic dummy head. I'm not sure which one, but it definitely hit one of those targets. And it sounded like it didn't even slow it down, honestly. So either way, that's the result. I don't think this guy could get put back together again, if you know what I mean. That 50AE just absolutely destroyed our ballistic dummy head. So there's your answer. And there it is, guys, Cyclops THUMPER 50AE. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I think the title of World's Most Powerful Pocket Pistol is gonna have to be switched from the 4570 to the 50AE. And after shooting this thing quite a bit today, I really don't even think it's close. The 50AE is a lot more powerful. And as far as recoil goes, I think they're similar. I still think the 50AE does kick more, but they both hurt about the same. I'm sure you noticed throughout the video, after every shot, really all I can do is laugh because it's just unbelievable, and it's my way of masking the pain. Hopefully it was at least a fun video for you guys to watch and laugh at my pain. The only other video I've seen on these was a YouTube short, and the guy acted like it wasn't that bad. I don't know what kind of ammo he was using or if he was just trying to act cool or what, but I don't have that big of an ego. I'll tell you straight up, this thing sucks to shoot, and most people are not gonna find these enjoyable, at least with the ammo we have. These Derringers come in a lot of good calibers. The 50AE is not one of them. I'll stick with my 9mm and 45s. Even like 10mm and 44 Magnums feel like a 22 compared to this thing. It really is that bad. So again, I hope that y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, let me know down in the comments below. As always, hit that like button for me, guys. I would really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.